think Rosie came in and said hi. Sorry, guys. I'm not used to speaking yet this morning. Haven't even spoken to my cat yet. Although I've been up for quite a while. All right. Where are you going? I'm bringing up my desktop version of A Course in Miracles. And I want to go to chapter 11. Nope. Chapter 11. Yes. At least that's where we're going to start. At least that's where I'm going to start. Chapter 11. It's an interesting chapter. It talks quite a bit about the psychology of A Course in Miracles. And truly, A Course in Miracles is a psychological system. Not surprising as it was received by, hey Selena, I'm sorry. Celine. Sorry, let me bring up my Selena. I will get it right. Hey Praveen. Hello, my friend. Praveen says hello to everyone. Yeah, the Course in Miracles was received by two psychologists, the head of the psychology department of Columbia University, New York City. So it's not surprising that it is a psychological system, but it's a psychological system of love. And here's the thing. The ego, who we think we are, doesn't know of love. It only knows of its self-preservation. It only knows of self-affection, and affection isn't really love. So, chapter 11 is the choice. God or the ego. What do we choose at every moment? Every moment we have the choice between two teachers. But we don't even realize that we have a choice. We don't even realize that we've continuously been choosing the wrong teacher. We've been choosing the teacher and the teachings of the ego because that's who we think we are. And the ego is, again, only concerned with self-preservation, which isn't bad, except the ego doesn't really exist. It's a figment of our imagination. It is a false system of beliefs that wishes to gain its autonomy. But how can something that isn't true ever gain autonomy? So therefore we're stuck in this contradiction of ideas. Always trying to prove that the I that we think we are exists when it doesn't truly exist. So, chapter 11 in the dynamics of the ego. Footballer says hi. How are you, my friend? Nice to see you. So, chapter 11 begins with, chapter 11, the dynamics of the ego, begins with, no one can escape from illusions unless he looks at them. For not looking at is the way they are protected. So the last thing the ego ever wants, hey Archie, is to be examined. If you truly examine the ego, and the only way you can examine the ego is self-inquiry, silence, found through meditation, and then you just see through it. That's the only thing we need to do. We don't need to fight. We don't need to battle. We don't need to really make a choice. If only one is true, if only one is real, is it really a choice to be made? How you doing, Archie? Archie says, remember all guys, like, share, and subscribe. Thank you very much. Archie says, hey all, spread the love. Absolutely, spread the love. No one does it better than Archie. Archie has shared my live stream. I appreciate that, my friend. So a lot of spirituality presents it as a battle between the ego or egoic self, the false belief in the ego, and spirit or love. But it's a false choice, and it's not a battle. How do you fight that which isn't true? You don't. You only see that it's not true, and reality itself, the ever-present essence of love, makes itself known. The Course says, teach only love, because only love is real. Teach only love, because that's what you are. Archie says, new connected to Praveen. Awesome. So here's the important thing to consider from chapter 11 and section 5. All power is of God. What is not of him has no power to do anything. That's it. Hey, Rosie. Rosie says, Yogi, I'm so happy you're live. I'm happy that you're here, my friend. We're going to talk for maybe 20 more minutes or so. 15 minutes. We'll see. Here's the truth. The truth is very simple, according to A Course in Miracles. You don't have to believe it, but you can put it in your consideration. The truth is, all power is of God. What is not of him has no power to do anything. So, if we have placed power in the ego, if we've placed power in the world, if we place power in the government, if we place power in our jobs, in anything that has any sense of fear in it, any sense of control, any sense of something that doesn't seem of love, then it's not of God. God is love. Only love is real. Nothing unreal exists. Therein lies the peace of God. Let's see. Archie's dropped a link for Praveen. Thank you, my friend. We got some love from Rosie. Rosie, how are you? In a minute, I'm going to do 5 gifting of channel memberships. I don't know who gets it. It's all done randomly through YouTube, but we'll see what happens. Archie says, hey, Rosie, how are you doing? Are you okay? Pregnant too? And Rosie says, yeah, I'm okay, Archie, just resting. I'm glad that you're resting. She says, I'm okay. And how are you, Yogi? I'm doing pretty good. It's the beginning of March. I've mentioned before that, astronomically, March or spring is on the equinox, which is, I think it's the 20th this year. It might be the 21st. And it's measured by, position of, it's the astronomical position of moon in the sky, right? Our connection to the moon, Earth to moon. And that is, and Earth in relation to the sun, obviously, as it turns. The Earth, not the sun. And meteorologically, meteorologists, they measure trends. They don't go by astronomically. And they say that spring starts the beginning of March, basically March 1st, because it's warming trends. I like both. I like the ceremonial nature of equinoxes and solstices, but I like spring starting the beginning of March. And it feels like spring right now, but it's going to get cold again tomorrow or later today. Hey, Danny. Would you watch a tree grow or or a knee? I don't think my knee grows anymore, does it? I know what you're saying. Everyone thinks they're clever. The great poet Rumi urges us to sell our cleverness for bewilderment. Cleverness is always of the ego. It's always thinking it's in on the joke. it's funny, that it is doing things that no one's aware of. Of course, as we were talking about here, the ego doesn't even exist. So it's a false dichotomy, a false choice. But when we choose, when we sell our cleverness for bewilderment, we're left with the entirety of the universe, a mystery, fully immersed in mystery. Everything becomes funny. Everything becomes truly funny. Not the mirth of ego, but that true funniness of absolute love, of spirit. Hey, Danny. Danny says, hi, my Rosie. I appreciate dropping the like, Danny. I appreciate you being here. How are you? Danny says, Archie, sub to you. And Rosie says, thank you, Archie. I'm trying my best to just rest, get my mind off things. Danny says, back to Skeeter. Well, thanks for coming in. I'll check out Skeeter right after the live stream. I didn't see him come up on my feed. Let me refresh. And maybe I'll see him now. Archie says, Danny, then support my new upload. And drops link for Danny. Thank you so much. Rosie says, how can I get my mind off bad things and make them good things to think about? It's a good question. Archie says, okay, Sister Rosie Beautiful, who says, love you, Archie. You can't. Yep, I saw your message the first time, Alexia. A tree is almost always better than anything. So if you battle your mind, Rosie, if you're trying to get your mind on all the good things and not think of bad things, you are inadvertently going to always be introducing the bad things in your mind. So the key is not to stop thinking about something. If I tell you to not think about a pink elephant, you have to think about a pink elephant first before you can even dismiss it. Then it keeps coming back. So the key is just to consistently put your mind on the things that you love. Put your minds on the things that you want without dismissing anything else. Don't present yourself with a battle between good thoughts and bad thoughts. Simply recognize that bad thoughts aren't true because they're not happening right now. It's just a thought. It's just a thought. And a thought is a passing neurochemical reaction occurring in the brain. You are not your thoughts. You are the awareness, the observer, the witness to your thoughts. So the more you just come back to witnessing the thoughts and smile at them, be gentle with yourself. Smile at every thought. Hey, Miss Flipper. Smile at every thought. So when you find yourself dwelling on bad thoughts or dwelling on possibilities that you don't want to happen, instead of getting upset and fighting them and saying, I don't want this, just smile at it. Be gentle with yourself. And simply observe. It's a thought. It's just a thought. Rosie says, because I'm an overthinker as well. Yeah, so most of us are. But that's okay. Because remember, you're not your thought. You're the witness to your thoughts. And the witness is ever-present love. The witness is simply love. It's simply awareness. It accepts all things. The nature of the witness isn't to judge. It just observes. Just witnesses. How are you, Miss Flipper? So if the witness always smiles upon all things, every time you remind yourself to smile, then the power that the negative thoughts have begins to disappear. It's a moment-by-moment meditation, but you don't want to take it seriously. You always want it to be a very gentle smile. Oh, this thought again. You know what I mean? Whenever you have that thought, you just smile and say, oh, this thought again? And it'll pass. no matter how often it comes up, you just smile at it and say, oh, this thought again. So I'm going to click on the membership. I get to gift 10 memberships every month. Always look forward to it. I'm going to try to space it out. I never know who it's going to be because it's done randomly through YouTube. Let's see who it is. Rosie says, thank you. And Miss Whipper says, still winding myself past this cold flu. How are you? I'm doing good, Miss Whipper. Sorry that you're not quite over it yet. Rosie says, I don't know what I would do without you, Yogi. I finally found one to talk to. I'm here for you, my friend. Austin was gifted. Share Bear. Awesome for Share Bear. Fisherman's Lodge. That's actually ironic. Funny in a way. Chloe. Awesome for Chloe, too. Which is ironic, too. Kevnish. It's amazing. That's the first 5. Praveen says, Hey, Bind Space. How are you, my friend? So here's the section I wanted to read, and then we'll probably wrap things up in just a minute. This seemed very relevant to me this morning. It seemed very, very important. Rosie said, congrats to everyone who got a membership. Yep. Some are going to appreciate it. Some are going to be like, why did this happen to me? Let's see. Biospace says, sleepy. Are you up early or you haven't been to bed yet? Well, what time is it for you? Hey, Lucy. Lucy says, good morning. What's up for the weekend, Lucy? Biospace says, how are you? I'm doing pretty good. Lucy's laughing. Or Rosie's laughing. Rosie says hi to Lucy. So, here's something to consider through the course of the day. Every brother you meet becomes a witness for Christ or the ego. When we say Christ, we're saying the energy of Christ, the energy of love, Christ consciousness, which resides within all of us. Only the Christ within us is real, the ego isn't. So every brother you meet becomes a witness for Christ or the ego, depending on what you perceive in him. So if I am perceiving someone as an ego, then they become a witness to the ego. And we're living in separation, in conflict, in turmoil. But if I'm able to witness even just a glimmer of the Christ within them, then it's going to grow. Then I'm going to see that spark of love. As our friend Kat said, the God spark of love. The God spark itself. If I just see that little God spark, that's what's going to grow. That's what I'm going to perceive. Everyone convinces you of what you want to perceive and of the reality of the kingdom you have chosen for your vigilance. So if I look at someone and I want to see that ego, my own ego, within them, I'm going to convince myself. And that's what I'm going to perceive, the ego. And we're going to be in conflict, ego versus ego. But there's only one Christ. So if I look and I perceive the Christ within them, then I perceive it within myself. Such an important thing to remember moment by moment. Everyone you meet is giving you that choice, is giving you the choice of perception. Everything you perceive is a witness to the thought system you want to be true. Every brother or sister has the power to release you if you choose to be free. Everyone can give you the choice to be free. If they're offering you conflict, I can choose again. Choose once again. Every brother has the power to release you if you choose to be free. You cannot accept false witness of him unless you have evoked false witness against him. If he speaks not of Christ to you, you spoke not of Christ to him. If I don't recognize the Christ consciousness, the Christ energy within them, it's because I am not witnessing it within myself. I've chosen false witness against myself. You hear but your own voice, and if Christ speaks through you, you will hear him. Extremely important for me to consider through the day. Lucy says, hey Josh, I need 42 more subscribers. We will get you there. Anyone here not subscribed to Josh? Archie's dropping links. Good morning, Josh. Austin says hi. Hey, Austin. Hey, Sniper. Boy, I turned away for a second and everyone shows up. Bond Space says, I haven't decided yet. But we'll see what happens. Archie says, Kevinish, new subscriber to support my new upload. I don't think Kevinish is here yet. Praveen says, sir, today here in India, headlines of every news channel since morning is what happened in the White House. President Trump asked Zelensky to leave. Now over heated argument. I can tell you what happened. Exactly what happened. What I just read. Every brother you meet becomes a witness for Christ or the ego. And what we saw was a witness to the ego. The dynamics of the ego playing out. Writ large. The dynamic of the ego between 2 or 3 people in a room, and the dynamic of our collective ego choosing to see ego through 2 others. That was it. That was the only thing that happened. Here's the choice. What do we do now? Do we continue playing witness to the ego, or do we decide now that we are going to see the face of Christ within every single person that comes our way, even those that make it extremely difficult or seem to make it difficult? We are in graduate school right now, guys. No more kindergarten. No more playing around. I'll be honest. I don't know if I'm ready for graduate school. But it wasn't my choice. Miss Pippa says hi to Lucy. Let's see. The id needs redemption. The id is always searching for redemption. However, when we see the id being nothing but illusion, there's nothing to redeem. Only love is real, nothing unreal exists. Keep coming back to that over and over. Austin says, thanks for the gift, Yogi. You're welcome. Again, it was done randomly. Had I chosen, I would have chosen you, Austin. Hey, Foxy. Foxy, how are you? How many more days of honeymoon, Foxy? Hey, Kai. Kai Art says, how are you? I'm good, my friend. How are you? Lucy says, 7 Central Time. Hey, Maria. Sorry, wow, conversation just jumped. 7 p.m. Central Time, going live till 11. Nice. That's a good long live stream. Way to do it. Guys, if you want to know how to do YouTube right, follow Lucy. She knows how to do it. Praveen says, awesome live stream, sir. Thank you so much, my friend. Hey, Easy. Easy, how are you? Miss Flipper says, sub to Josh. Nice. So what was that? 45 more to go. 41 more to go, Josh. Is anyone here not subscribed to our friend Josh? Josh says, Miss Flipper subbed. Archie says, hey Austin, support my new upload. Sniper says, sun is shining and blue skies for all. Awesome. It's going to be that way today, although it's going to start getting cold later in the day. That's okay. Spring is in the air. Let me get caught up in the chat. I'm going to read this one more time. Leonard is here. Says, good morning. My country is in a very difficult situation right now. It's a mess. Where are you, Leonard? And regardless of where you are, sending prayers to your country. Let's see. Oh, it's Leo back. Let's see. Here's the funny thing. I'm never hungry. Josh said that Leonard subscribed. Awesome. Kay says, Kai says, sorry, thanks for supporting me. Yep. Miss Whipper says, in grad school, gotta be a TA. Yep. It's not easy. Leonard says, I am subscribed. Hey, Carl. Carl says, good morning, everyone. Good morning to you, my friend. Hey, Skits. Good morning, everyone. And thanks to anyone who listened to my song. We'll reply to all your comments today. Happy Saturday. Hope you're all smiling. I am smiling. Hi, Shirley. Shirley says, greetings, Yogi and chat friends. I needed this calming space this morning. I didn't realize it until I found you. Thank you. You're welcome, my friend. And thank you for being here. Because you help it. You help make it that way. All of us are essential. Praveen says, sir, today we'll be having 44,000 subscribers by the end of the day. 44,000 subscribers by the end of the day. That's incredible. It's absolutely awesome. Praveen right now is at 43.8K. He is doing some videos and shorts in English now. Hey, Mir, my friend, how are you? Mir says, hey, sir, Yogi and beautiful people. Hope you are doing well. I am doing well. I hope you are too. Viva says, oops, read that. Josh says, sub to Mir. Tipper says, going to listen after this was modded in 3 channels last night when it dropped. Skits is saying hi to everyone. Rosie says, I loved your song, Skits. It was an awesome song. Carl says, I sang yesterday. Where did you sing, Carl? Where did you sing and what did you sing? So I'm going to read one more time. Because again, this was just so important for me. And it actually sits very well in what our friend Praveen was saying about what everyone's talking about in his country. Every brother you meet becomes a witness for Christ or the ego. I want to clarify. Christ is the living energy of love that resides within all of us, Christ consciousness. The ego is the false belief in who we are. It's a navigational system that is seeking to always gain its own autonomy, but it's not real. So anytime we are choosing the ego, we're simply choosing unreality. Every time that we are witness to Christ, we're choosing love, we're choosing reality. Only love is real. So every brother you meet becomes a witness for Christ or the ego, depending on what you perceive in him. If I look at you and I see anything that is not of love, if I see anything that is not that Christ energy, it's because I am choosing the ego, my own ego, reflected and perceived within you. Everyone convinces you of what you want to perceive and the reality of the kingdom you have chosen in your vigilance. Sorry. Anyone who comes into my life, anyone who is offering me anything, anyone who seems to confront me, or anyone who seems to offer me love, it's that which I wish to perceive. It means I am choosing to perceive Christ within you, and I get only love in return, or I am choosing to perceive the ego within you, in which case I only get my own separation. I only get my own egoic responses or reactions. Everything you perceive is a witness to the thought system you want to be true. Do I want the thought system of the Holy Spirit, of Christ, of love to be true? Because that's the only truth there is. Then I need to be witness to it in others. And then I witness it in myself. Or do I want the ego to be true? And the ego is never true. The ego only seeks to divide. The ego only thinks to keep its own autonomy thriving. If I witness that in another, then I am keeping it alive within myself. Every brother and sister has the power to release you if you choose to be free. That means every person that I come witness to, every single person that comes into my life, every single person that comes into my live stream gives me the opportunity, the power to release me from the grip of the ego, to release me from fear, to release me from the illusion that there's anything other than love. So we bless everyone that comes in our life because they're bringing us that gift of choice, the only choice there ever is. So if he speaks not of Christ to you, you spoke of not of Christ to him. Meaning, if someone doesn't bring love to us, it means on some level, we spoke not of love to them. But we can always choose again. In every moment, if we recognize that we're not choosing love, choose again. It's that easy. Let's say it's that simple. It's not always easy. You hear about your own voice, and if Christ speaks through you, you will hear him. We just have to listen. Remember, love is always quiet. Love is always a gentle urge. It's always present. It always accepts and accepts and accepts. Love always says, yes, even this, even this. But the voice of ego is always loud. It always shouts. It always says, me. George Harrison sang about it on Let It Be. I, me, mine. All through the day, all through the night. I, me, mine, I, me, mine, I, me, mine. All right. Where was I? Carl says it can be lonely being single. It can be. Here's the thing, though. Develop a relationship with the entire world, with everything, even things that seem inanimate. Develop a relationship with everything, and the world starts to unfold in love. And then that right person who is meant to be there for you has room to enter into your life. We're here with you, Carl. Skid says, love you, Rosie, my friend. If I have missed any comments, I apologize, guys. Leonard says, good one. Skid says, you still doing your live streams, your brother? Praveen says, sorry, English Shorts data is very bad in YouTube Studio. I know it will, because my majority audience is from India, and they like to watch in Hindi vids, and when you are watching English Shorts, they are swiping it. Yeah, that's understood. Maybe just a few shorts in English, but the majority in Hindi. Miss Pippa says also, We can always choose once again. We can always choose once again. Absolutely. Making mistakes isn't sinful. Just a mistake. Remember, sin was mistranslated from Aramaic into Greek as grievance, permanent. Sin simply means mistake. Lisa says, I'm single and not lonely. I have myself and I have God. There you go. If you have God, you have everything. If you have yourself, you have God. And if you have God, you have everything. Cultivate the relationship with your truest self, and you're cultivating a relationship with God. Cultivate a relationship with God, and you're in a relationship with everything and everyone. It becomes a beautiful experience. Rosie says, I was single, but I have a boyfriend now. If it wasn't for him, I don't think I'll be here. He made me feel alive again. But that spark of aliveness was always in you, Rosie. He just recognized it and brought it to the surface, but it's always there and it will always be there. Cultivate that spark of aliveness, because that's who you truly are, life itself, ever present, always loving. Jess says, I'm going to go to bed for it's 3:35 for me. Good morning, good evening, good night, guys. Good night, my friend. Miss Ripper says, good song, makes me want to change my name to Karma. It's a pretty name. Praveen says, yes, sir, same. I also taught few in English, but majority in English. Lucy says, it took me a while to learn that. What you need to really take time to love yourself first. Well, hey, Sai. Sai says, Praveen. I'm going to defer to Ramana Maharshi. You guys heard me say this probably 1,000 times by now. When Ramana Maharshi was asked by a follower, he was a great saint, southern India. How do we treat others? How do we love others? And he replied with a smile and said, there are no others. So you cannot love yourself if you don't love others. You cannot love others if you don't love yourself, because there are no others. There is just the infinite, seemingly sparkling in little finite forms. It's like the ocean saying, I'm going to love this wave, but not that wave. Rosie says, thank you, Yogi. But you don't look happy there, Rosie. Miss Ripper says, what section were you reading from? I was reading from chapter 11, the very last section, section 18. Dynamics of the ego. The next one, the waking to redemption. We'll go on that tomorrow, I think. Here's the last of section 10 in chapter 11 of Waking to Redemption. There is no order of difficulty in miracles, because all of God's sons are of equal value. And their equality is their oneness, one thing. The whole power of God is in every part of him, and you are a part of God. And nothing contradictory to his will is either great or small. You are neither great nor small. You are simply an aspect, a part of the God, of the sonship, of heaven, of love. What does not exist has no size and no measure. To God, all things are possible, and to Christ it is given to be like the Father. And that is what you are. So we're going to wrap things up, guys. Cindy says, sorry I disappeared. I was on the phone to my mom. Hello to everyone in chat again. That's okay. Carl says, is Harold being single? Depends on how we look at it, Carl. Hey, Jamie. Being single means there's only one thing. If there's only one thing, you are not separate or apart from anything else. Miss Pippa says, I think Bob Marley called One Love. Yep. Praveen says, sir, correction on my last message. Yes, sir, same. I also thought few in English, but majority in Hindi. Gotcha. Praveen says, nice live, sir. Now, till now, 5 ads popped up. Oh, nice. Selena says, I'm single and I always say married to God. Absolutely. Selena says, I'm happy with myself. Me too. It's taken a while. Carl says, I only need Genesis. Rosie says, I'm letting my emotions out. Too many tears I kept inside. I'm happy crying because I'm glad I have a family online to talk to. Always. And anytime, you guys can reach me on Facebook Messenger. Always happy to keep up the ongoing dialogue. Shirley says, you have an opinion on Kahil Gibran? I love Kahil Gibran. In my wedding ceremony, we use words from Gibran. I'll ask again next time. See you later. Gibran is one of those books. You can open it up anywhere, the Prophet, anywhere. And the exact words that you need seem to come up. Let me bring up Gibran real quick. Hey, Jace. My favorite, because it sums up the conversation we're having. So this is for you, my friends. Rosie, this is for you. From the Prophet. As well, Shirley, this is for you. It's for everyone here, but it is especially for Shirley and Rosie. From the Prophet, Kahil Gibran. In the sweetness of friendship, let there be laughter and sharing of pleasures. For in the dew of little things, the heart finds its mooring. The heart finds its morning, and it is refreshed. One more time. In the sweetness of friendship, let there be laughter and sharing of pleasures. For in the dew of little things, the heart finds its morning, and is refreshed. You guys have been my morning, and in the dew of little things, in the little conversation that we're having, in the sweetness of our friendship, I am refreshed. Thank you, and thank you, and thank you. Guys, I'm going to go make some oatmeal. Jace, you going live later? Praveen says, Jace, sir, give my love to cute Zena. Sniper sends some love to Jace. Selena says, that's beautiful, Eric. It is. The Prophet is just absolutely beautiful. Praveen says, awesome lines, Yogi, sir. Awesome. They are. Rosie says, thank you, that means a lot, Yogi. Felicia says, see you later, Eric. Enjoy your weekend. Enjoy your day. Hopefully I will catch some of you live before I go to bed. Selena says, oatmeal time, the best time of the day. One of the best times for the day. Selena says, thank you. You are welcome, my friend. Jay says, yeah, I'll be live today. Hope to get out with Zena in the sun. I hope you do. All right, guys. Speaking of out in the sun, I'm going to eat my oatmeal, and I'm going to go out and hang out in the sun myself. Rosie says, love you, Yogi. Much love to everyone. I love you too, my friend. Thank you guys. I'll see everyone later.